Oh oh man, what do we have here? We're gonna be lighting up the world and making people uncomfortable, and that's not the goal, but that's what we have to do in order to make and see change in this world. So, controversial topic about the Bible, and we're diving into Romans 8 and just reading a bit of Romans 8. Go read it for yourself first. But I have the direct translation of the Aramaic version because this is what Jesus spoke. This is the closest depiction of what he was actually trying to convey in his message. So diving into that, my goodness, is it good? Um, it starts off by talking about the flesh and essentially what walking in, I believe the word was conduct, it used. Let's see. Yes, so it used conduct. I'm trying to find where it was specifically. Basically, it says those who are in the flesh who are not able to please God. Um, and the mind of the flesh is hostile towards God. So it doesn't want to believe in him, it doesn't want to trust in him, and it doesn't want to take the path less traveled and make other people uncomfortable. And I'm not to put anything on me. I'm not in the spirit yet either. I'm trying to figure out how to get there, and I just want to help everyone else to be able to get there. So we're on this path together. I'm in no way, shape, or form already there. We're trying to direct you to go there, but we're trying to figure this out together. So I look towards the actual things. So the Aramaic version, like I said, very close to the truth. And the law talks about became weak through the wickedness of the flesh. The flesh, essentially, what it's saying is overcame the laws of the Old Testament. Like the laws that God put in place through Moses were no longer effective because the flesh was so um, strong and overcame it. So he sent his son in the form of flesh on account of sin to condemn it and finally put it to rest in all of its horrible aspect that it does. Um, but the goal he talks about is to walk in the, I'm not even going to try and pronounce that, RUKH, which is to walk in the Spirit. And those who are in the Spirit, um, you can tell because they have life and they have peace. And they have life more abundantly, it seems like. Then it goes into you're not pleasing to God if you're not in the Spirit at all times, but you should be in the Spirit and have it truly dwell in you. If a man is not in the Spirit, then he is not of his own, meaning he's not his true self and he's not who God called him to be. So our goal is to be in the Spirit at all times and not be in the Spirit one day on Sunday and be out of the Spirit Monday through Friday, Monday through Saturday, you know. Um, let's see. It said the body is dead because of sin, but it's alive because of righteousness. So righteousness, I just believe that means, and I could be wrong here, but I believe righteousness is being in the right heart posture. And I think that being in the Spirit is a type of heart posture that you can be in. Operating out of love is a type of heart posture as well. It's not a emotion. So I think that kind of correlates. They go together. But again, I have no idea. I'm just trying to connect two and two. I'm trying to figure it out, just like you guys are. Let's see. It said the one who raised Jesus from the house of the dead dwells in you, and the one who raised the anointed one from the dead will also receive your dead bodies, because his spirit is the one that dwells in you. So we are not obligated to the flesh, so we should not be walking in the flesh. And if you are living in the flesh, you are destined to die. But if you're in the spirit, you're killing the body's conduct. Here it is. Then you will live. So killing the body's conduct, I had to look up what conduct was first off. I had no idea. But apparently conduct is, I looked it up, now I'm blanking again. Let me see. It is the direct course or control. So what the flesh does is it's manipulation by the devil, strategically to have you listen to it and turn away from who you truly are on the inside. So if you're listening to the fleshly conduct, it's going to cause you to be sexually immoral. It's going to cause you to want to chase things like greed, pride, popularity, things of that nature. And God says, if you follow this, like you're destined to die. There's nothing good that comes out of following what the devil has constructed for you, following the path that I made for you. It's right here, but the only thing stopping you is uncomfortability, because everyone today, you look into the world and you see a whole bunch of people, whole lot of them, living in the flesh, living for the flesh, ultimately carrying out the will of evil rather than the will of righteousness, of good. And that's simply because turning to the righteousness in that path is uncomfortable. It's not fun, it's not easy, but it talks about what you get in return. You receive God, you receive sonship. And I don't think this talked about enough. People just think, okay, I'm saved. I believe that Jesus died on the cross. That means I'm a son of God. No, you need to believe that Jesus died on the cross, but you need to believe everything else in the Bible that he said about you as well. And like I said, I have no idea quite yet how to fully walk in the flesh. I'm trying my best to study and to figure that out. But I feel like it's fully walking in the understanding of God's concepts of, in simple terms, saying you are the head and not the tail. You are above and not below. And if you believe that and walk that out every day, as well as understanding that no one can come against your God, and as long as you're with God, nobody can come against you, I think that's the spirit. Like having that belief in every circumstance, in every aspect, every single thought of your life. When you're scrolling on social media and you're seeing all of these people living by the flesh and they're irking you, they're trying to pull you into thinking like the flesh, and you continue thinking like the spirit, I think that's really what being in the spirit of all at all times looks like. And I can't even say, because I haven't done that yet. I still scroll and then I end up thinking like the flesh. I'm like, oh man, like this sucks, because certain days you're thinking, or you go to church and you're praising and studying, reading your Bible outside of church, maybe going to a community group, and it feels good. Like you feel like you're in the spirit. You can tell it's like a weight lifted off your shoulders. You feel happy, you feel peace that doesn't make sense. And I think that's what we're trying to encompass at all times. And if we can feel that way all the time, just imagine, like, that would be so cool. And that's why I'm so eager to figure out what that means. So I'm trying to depict this, and I was brought to Romans 8, because it talks about how we are adopted. And being in the Spirit is all the time is when we get that adoption, that request. So this is like the only form of adoption situation where the child is actually the one who gets to pick his parent. We get to pick, we get to sit there as like a baby, and we're looking at God and we're looking at the devil and the flesh and the spirit, and we're like trying to like pick, and we don't really know because we don't have enough knowledge and wisdom. But as we grow, as we mature, we learn the aspects of both sides, and then from there we choose. So I think that's cool. That's just something that way that I see it. But so Romans 15, 8:15, for we have not received the spirit of servitude out of fear, being serving the Lord. It's not because we're scared of him, but it's rather we received the spirit of the adoption of the sons. So in him we cry out, Father, our Father. So it's not because we are scared of him and all the amazing, glorious things that he's capable of and has done in the past. It's because we respect him as a commendable father figure, because he knows what's best for us. He knows the direction that we need to go to be the best self that we can be. His will for us is also making us happy, making sure that we thrive, making sure we have the best impact on the community, on the world around us. So I don't know, I want to trust in that. I want that rather than trying to pick and choose and navigate this world on my own. I've tried. It sucks. It really sucks. So if you haven't, I highly recommend you just pray to him. Pray a powerful prayer and just say, God, I want you to be my father, and I want what you want for me, because I know what you want for me is best. So what we also get from being in the Spirit is the inheritance of a king. Romans 8, 16 and 17. 16 says, the Spirit himself witnesses unto our spirit that we are the sons of God. So I think that means that the Holy Spirit is the one keeping tabs, checking on us to see if we're encompassing the Spirit at all times. Because I think if you don't have the Spirit, you can't claim to be a son of God or a daughter of God. So that's something to take a little bit more seriously, to give you a little extra nudge. Definitely did for me. And 17, and if the sons or heirs also, the heirs of God, and also the sons of the inheritance of Jesus. So we share in the inheritance of Jesus. If you know, when Jesus was scared and about to, be crucified, he said a few things, but he said, Father, if this cup is not for me, let it be passed on, take it from me. He also said, okay, if this is really going to happen, I pray that you don't, inflict your wrath on these people. I pray that they can share in my inheritance. And this is what, it's full circle kind of coming into Romans, where he's kind of explaining that. So we are the sons of the inheritance of Jesus, the anointed one. It says Yeshua. But being sons of the inheritance of a King of Kings. I just want you to think about that. I think that is worth studying. I think that is worth putting in the effort to meet God halfway, to be in the Spirit at all times, so that I can walk in royalty, in the inheritance of the King of all kings. I don't know. I think that's cool. But it also says some other cool stuff, and then I'll wrap it up. Don't want it to be super, super long. Can't cover the whole chapter today. But the sons. Oh, okay. Romans 8:18. For I think that the sufferings of this time, in other words, of this world, are not equal to the glory, it says, which is destined to be revealed in us. So we haven't even. This is giving the question and provoking a new understanding that salvation is not the end all be all in your journey of faith. This is saying that it's not apparent what we are to become. Like, once the glory is fully shown in us, in multiple of us all over the world, I think that's when we'll be able to see what was really destined for us. So, like, there's a byproduct of getting to this point in many different lives and many different aspects of the world. And once we get to this point, who knows? That's nuts. But 19 and 20, and then I'll close. 19, for all creation hopes and looks for the manifestation of the sons of God. My goodness. So not only are we waiting for a time of Jesus to come back, but we're also looking for all of creation, their soul, their spirit is waiting urgently for the manifestation of the sons of God to be manifested into this world. I think that's, like I just said, just manifesting a bunch of leaders, men and women, fully walking in who God says they are, right? And they're all over the world, and they're doing this every single day in every single aspect of their life. And if they're doing that and they're already leaders, they're promoting this in other people. And then it spreads, and then it spreads, and then it spreads. All we need is one spark to light the whole world up, you know? So I'm so curious what the glory that is to be revealed in us once we achieve that. I was always taught that, okay, we wait here to die, and then, heaven comes and Jesus takes us up. But I never read Romans 8. I don't know why. But, okay, finish it up here. For the creation, this is Romans 8:20. For the creation was subjected to vanity, but not by its own desire, but rather because of him who subjected it upon hope. 21, so that the creation itself will also be freed from the servitude of corruption in the freedoms of the glory of the sons of God. 22, for we know that every creature groans and perishes till this day, and not only they, but also we who are among the first fruits of the Spirit, we groan in our souls and are looking for the adoption of sons and for the redemption of our bodies. So, but for one thing, it isn't seen. 25. But if the thing that isn't seen we are hoping, we are remaining in patience. So we're remaining in patience. But what gets me here is people are so quick to talk about, okay, God has a plan for you. He knew you before you were even in your mother's womb, which is all true. And then people want to say that you have free will. And I agree with that too, to an extent. But I think the free will in us is, like I said, being a baby and looking at the flesh and the spirit and being like, okay, I think I'm going to go this way. and like growing up, and then you can kind of choose, and then you pick and choose. I think that's free will, and I think free will is also in regards to this as well, um, becoming the manifestation of what we're supposed to be, the sons of God, the manifestation of the sons of God. And this is not one person, this is plural. There should be many sons of God. Excuse me. And in this, I think this is us and God wanting us to meet him halfway, because Adam and Eve didn't meet him halfway. They failed to even break past the beginning point. But if we are able to um, mend what they broke and then some, to fully encompass walking in the Spirit every single day, which I believe will become and flourish into the manifestation of the sons of God, I think that's us meeting him halfway, to the point where then he will meet us there and we will see him for the first time. I don't know. That's what I'm reading. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Let me know if you have any input, things like that. But hope this opened your mind a little bit. I'm just trying to figure things out. But I wish y'all the best of luck. And he said, if you seek with all your mind, all your soul, all your heart, you will find. And he wants you to find him. So he's out there. He's got his arms wide open. Go get him, because he is our Father. He is our everlasting Father. We have parents on this earth. We know that, but he is the coolest father you'll ever have. So go find him, and I love you guys because you are my family too. We are all family all together, and that's just part of this amazing, beautiful life that we were given to configure with him, not without him. God bless.